Back with more one-on-one podcasting. Where we're talking about is being single not aesthetic anymore. So the long-term relationship aesthetic. The thing is, even for me, I'm not worrying about so much where I'm at the point where single is not even a matter of if I'm single or not. It's being alone. Really talking about single and using the term single means you're still trying to date, but by yourself alone. To me, I think there's a lot of people being that way because they're not worrying about dating at all. It doesn't matter anymore, not as much as it did. So why does it matter here? Anyway, the story from here from BuzzFeed News, they talk about it. So a writer here, Steffi Cow, news reporter, she mentions the fact that now I have not known rest from relationship content. Every time I open Instagram, TikTok, or in dire situations, Facebook, I'm reliably greeted by photos capturing a mystery man's side profile, wedding announcement, engagement ring reveal, or boyfriend photo dump. Yeah, fear of missing out. We get it. And I see where some girls will see like this time of year in the spring, okay, and I do the Uber driving, like I said, and I can't tell you how many times I've driven not bridesmaids, but I've driven, wedding guests to their weddings, especially in the springtime, especially this time of year, right before it gets real hot. And when I see that, you can just tell, like, it's just, the young people going to these events. And, you could almost tell as well that, like, it's kind of funny where I see some people, they're talking about who's going to get married and how if they even expect that the wedding's going to actually go well and that the two people are going to stay married for any length of time. It's almost kind of like there's an if quotient in there as well. And she's now talking about the long-term relationship aesthetic, the aspirational digital trappings of being in a long, comfy relationship. There's always been an ecosystem specifically around dating on social media, but from the acquired skill of lurking on someone's profile that's sharing potential red flags and dates. See, the thing is, she still thinks about dating, so she's still single, but we do get ourselves caught up in just like when we watch television, where we watch, people that we know that are in relationships or married. And you look at the dynamic of like what they're doing as they're together. And to me, I just look at it as drama. I look at it as just my mindset is there's just a whole lot of complications there. I mean, I can understand where she feels like she needs to go and look at this aesthetic of long-term relationships, like it's still a thing. But to me, I look at it and I say to myself, it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, I don't think about the idea of thinking about what everybody else is working on right now and what kind of relationships they have, juggling kids, juggling work. I guess my life is just so simple now. I mean, it's just work for me. But I look at everybody else talking about how they have to look at red flags and dates. I mean, there's some of that, but really, I'm as a fence sitter. That's what you're doing right here. Fence sitting and watching everyone. Oh, look, Jennifer Lopez. She's announcing her engagement with Ben Affleck once again and all this stuff. Like, it doesn't matter to me. None of that stuff matters. And for people getting married, it doesn't matter either. And I'm so glad I don't go to get invited to weddings or I get invited to like baby showers or bachelor parties and crap. I'm glad I don't have anything to do with that. My group of friends, they don't even worry about it. Like, it's funny. Like, I'm around a bunch of fans when I watch football, Buccaneers football, by the way, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan for a long time. And amongst my group of friends, we don't talk anything. They don't talk anything about their spouses ever. It's such a non-factor all whatsoever. And, they might get married. Some might have kids, but it's like, so we're not worried about it's a women thing, not a men thing about what the relationships are. Unless you have a friend that you're with and you're trying to you're trying to still be friends with, and you don't want to be a third wheel either, which is why I don't ever stay around with friends of mine that are married. I kind of just like let them go off and do their own thing because I'm not going to get involved in that. And for those that wanted to like bring me into that mix, I'm like, I'm not doing that either. Got rid of that a long time ago. Just saying. So in the story, she continues and says, did everyone get cuffed in the pandemic or are we just posting about it now? So the soft launch, she talks about an introduction of a love interest to your social media followers. Talking about the fact that you see when you decide to go ahead and make your relationship public, like if you're, some famous celebrity, you do it on social media. Oh, we just tagged, I am in a relationship. I am married. I am engaged. That's the Facebook thing. It used to be anyway. But there's a thing about they talk about this here where think of a pair of hands in the middle of a dinner date, the back of a head, a pair of shoulders, deserving art at a museum. And, there's the whole thought, a combination of visual taste, publicity strategy, not only reveals a new character in your life, but sells them to your followers as something you're planning on keeping around. And then, it's funny how we're in the social media age where you can post all the pictures up there of what you've done and you just drop them. Like they don't stay up there in the lexicon unless you're really looking for them. And so that's what we're talking about right here. The long-term relationship aesthetic. That's all it is aesthetic. It doesn't matter at all about like if anybody's going to stay together or not. It's just to play a part. So who's taking long-term relationships seriously anymore? Nobody is. That's what this BuzzFeed story is telling you. There are those, I will say, that are definitely looking to get extra relationships. So I'm not going to, paint everyone with a broad brush, but there's many out there that you can see they're doing the same thing. Keep in mind, all of you out there, you right there, you're doing it too. Pointing at the camera. So when everybody looks at now, when long-term relationships are just being now put as like, oh, it's like a storyline in a show, like a reality show. This is part of an arc of a storyline. Oh, okay, we're going to bring this up. But that's just to make you interesting in your social media circles. I mean, nobody else cares. Like you're supposed to be an important person. So these kind of things don't matter to me, but like that's part of the thing that happens now with dating relationships that you have to put it out on social media. It's as if, well, we need to make sure you're doing okay. Family and friends, they want to show that you have a life. I don't worry about that. But I think I am humored and I am amused by seeing this kind of behavior on social media, but it doesn't surprise me either. And I don't blame women for doing it either. If they feel like they need to do something just to make themselves feel relevant and feel important, then go right ahead. But it doesn't make any difference in the long run. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there and I'll talk to you next time.